everyone, it's Wendy. Now I've been on a bit of a break from social media, have had a crazy few months and just trying to reprioritize a few things. I've been great, but I just have a tendency to overcommit myself sometimes and just need to sort all of those issues out. So I'm back on track again. I've got my cup of tea because I'm doing the Two Sisters unboxing. I've got my Two Sisters cup. Thank you, Tanya. So this month is November, and Tanya has sent out another art sample. So I got this one Friday, which absolutely cheered up my day because that was my first day of my holidays. So let's have a look what's inside. So a little thank you card from Tanya, but I've also got the art tag swap. And that's from Fiona, I think. We've got some pens, inks. Whoa, this looks great. We'll put this out on the desk. Okie dokie, inside this box. Oh, ink, ink, ink. You know how much I love pens. Tanya has pleased again. So in this month, Tanya has given us a little bottle of drawing ink, and that will go with these cool little dipping pens. So this actually has 5 nibs that range from a nice broad to a thin. So all you need to do is actually swap these out into the actual the pen holder quill. I've used similar ones to these before, absolutely fantastic. So I like doing it with a lot of sketching, and this also is complemented with a calligraphy book. This manuscript has a range of skills and techniques in which you can actually use how to use your pens, looking at lettering. I haven't done a lot of calligraphy, have always wanted to, so this month is probably the perfect opportunity to do so. And now this is a manuscript pen, Italic Creative, and it's got a nice big wedge on that, so you'll be able to do a lot of scripting with that. To complement that, Tanya's also include a gel marker from Reese, and it's got the fantastic brush end, which I like, which you can actually do a lot of calligraphy work in that, and it's also got the finer side. So just remember that this is once it dries, this is water resistant, I think, but we'll do some testing on that, whereas this is actually activated by water. So when you put this down, just remember, if you're doing mixed media and going over with this one, that one will actually smudge a bit, but we'll do a pen test. We've also got 2 pens, and we've got a gold and a silver, and they're elegant writers, so they look like they've got a nice broad wedge on those as well, from Speedball. We've got our art tag, which you can actually design and then send off to Tanya, and then in your next box you get one back in return. I think they're so cute and so bright. That's using the fluoro box. I think that was from September. Now the other tags we have got are just some little letter stickers. So I think we can do a few different things with this month's box. I'm going to try to catch up on a few additional videos. I have been doing some recordings, I just haven't finished them to actually put them up. So I will do a test run of all of these products. I may not talk over them. I'll add it to the end of this, but we'll just go through and we'll do a test of the inks and the pens. So sit back, grab a cup of tea, and come and play with me. So to keep my nibs in place. Previously I just get a little container. I think this is left over from like a dipping sauce of a Chinese container. I always keep things in recycle. So it's just taking these little fellows out from under their stickiness and just leaving them in that container. So these then sit inside the pen just like that, and then it's basically a matter of just dipping it into the ink. Okay, before I get started, I've gessoed my 2 journal pages. I've just used the Liquitex gesso because I know that I'm working with inks with this sort of paper. I know that it'll probably bleed through and I want to put a little bit of work into them. So both pages that I'll be working with out of the 2 journals that we've got, some of you received this smaller journal and some of you received this bigger journal, so we'll just see how the products are. There's so much noise going on in my house today. I'm going to do the next part of the demo not with any speaking, but just using these products, and I'll put up comments throughout. I hope you enjoy. I am super happy with the pens that we've got in this month's art sample box. I think we can do a lot with this. I'm looking forward to anyone that's got calligraphy experience actually demonstrating themselves how to use the pens really well. As you can tell, I need a bit more work on my calligraphy style, but I do like using the pens. When I went through and actually tested these, you could actually see with the thinner line, using the thinner nibs, 1s and 2, because you're only using a small amount of ink, even though you're putting a little bit on at a time, you can actually drag it through. I wasn't quite sure where I was going to finish up with that number 2 nib. It just kept going and going, and only with one little drop of the ink. But you can tell as you started using the larger nibs, it needed more ink, and that's because with each line it was putting down a lot more ink there. So don't forget, you have got in this month a book on how to do calligraphy, the handwriting in the different ways. So it even indicates the strokes that you can use to create. So it's not like using a pen, a normal biro, where you're just using one continuous line. With phantom pens you'll need to lift and take some lines you can actually do on one stroke, whereas like such as the M, you're looking at 4 different strokes to create that M. So I'm looking forward to going through and actually playing with this. there's a couple of really cool ideas that we can actually do. As you can see from the first page I did, these are water activated ones, so water soluble. So the Brea Reese, I got the green in the box, but I have got a couple of different pens. I thought I'd put down the blue so that was a little bit easier for you to see. And the manuscript pen, I thought that was going to be like a water fast sort of ink, but it wasn't. So that is actually water soluble as well as the Speedball metallic pens that you've got there. But the ink that you've got there, that is water fast. So I've done that test on there and there was no bleeding whatsoever. So I'm going to try to do a bit of calligraphy this month with a couple of little activities, but I really love fountain pens for just doodling and sketch work, so I'm going to play with a few different styles for this month. So I hope you like those little samplers there. They're really good. I'm going to do the same in the other book, but I won't show that one on screen. As I said, try to actually put down the gesso first in your pages before you actually do it. There was no bleeding through here, but I dare say in this book when I go through and try it, because that was the 100% cotton paper, it's great for watercolor. Definitely recommend using the gesso down on that before you actually start using the inks, etc. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this month's art sampler box. Go over and check out Tanya's website at twosisters.com.au. If you haven't subscribed already, she's got the boxes there, monthly subscription. So looking forward to hearing what you create with your own box. Thank you. Okay, so that is the second book. I thought I'd just show you the difference in with that. So it hasn't gone through the paper at all because of that white gesso. Same sort of things have occurred. The only difference you're going to have to watch with this paper is that you see there's no the crispness, it's almost Christmas I guess, in the lines is quite rough, and that's because of the paper that I've actually used there. The dipping pen, the fountain pen, that worked a little bit better because of the, even with the gesso, this seems to be a bit more absorbent, and I couldn't get the coverage in the ink the same way that I did on the smoother journal, but it was okay to do just a little bit of doodling. So pretty happy in all with the way that everything has gone. So once again, don't forget to subscribe to the Two Sisters Art YouTube page, and also if you want to jump over to my page at Wendy Patterson Design and subscribe, where I'll be doing additional art projects this month using these products. Okay, thanks very much for watching.